Why is buying a house better than renting it? Well, you know what? It may not be. And in fact, if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to give you a formula by which you can judge whether or not it's financially advisable for you to buy a house versus renting a house. So stick around to the end of the video. I really want you to hear that. I'd like to give you 7 reasons why I think buying is definitely better than renting. Folks, my name's Armand, realtor with Team Armand EXP Realty. I've been in the real estate business well over 20 years. I've successfully helped people close over 1,000 deals in my career. And I love talking about this stuff, so please stick and stay and hear this video. Meanwhile, like, comment, and subscribe so we can get these videos out to more people who are interested in this kind of stuff, okay? All right, folks, let me give you the 7 reasons why I think buying a house is better than renting a house. Okay, reason number 1. If you're renting, the money you're spending on rent is money you can't get back. It's gone. Once you pay that rent, it's gone. It'll never get back to you. There's an old saying in real estate, hey, you're always paying a mortgage. The only question is, are you paying your own mortgage or somebody else's mortgage? Reason number 2, it builds wealth. We're talking about magic money. Magic money, folks, is money that appears from nowhere. Here's what happens. When you're paying a mortgage, living in a house that you own, over time, it begins to appreciate. You're not doing anything to make that money appear. You're just living in a house that you love, and then it's slowly building up appreciation. Let me give you a good example. Here in the Triangle area, if you bought a house in 2012 for $350,000, today in 2024, that same house would be worth $700,000. Folks, over 12 years, the value of that house has doubled. And the person living in that house didn't do anything at all. They just lived in that house, a house that they love. And it's just magic money. It just appears overnight. In America, this is the best way that a regular person can build wealth, is by owning their own home. Reason number 3, it lowers your living expenses. Well, you're paying this mortgage and you're paying it off, and sooner or later, guess what? That mortgage is going to be completely paid off. Let's say you got a 15-year mortgage, which is what Dave Ramsey really advises you do, and I advise everyone to do. You've got that house paid off after 15 years. That house that I just told you about that doubled in value, and not only do you have that $350 profit on that house, you also have gained that $350,000 value of that house below that number there. That whole $700,000 is yours over 15 years. You didn't do anything for that other than keep paying your mortgage. You would have been paying rent in that same period of time if you weren't paying a mortgage, so why not pay a mortgage in that same period of time? You got to live somewhere, might as well pay a mortgage. Reason number 4, stability. If you've bought a house, nobody can raise your rent on you. Your mortgage will stay the same all these years. Whereas we know rents, they just keep going up and up and up and up. If you own your home, that can't happen. Even better, nobody can sell the house out from under you. If you're renting a house, there's always that danger that the landlord may sell the house, decide to cash in their chips and put their money somewhere else. Reason number 5, you have the power to make your house your own. If you're renting and you're looking at your kitchen or your bathroom and you go, that's kind of a crummy kitchen, you know, and crummy bathroom, you're kind of stuck with it unless you want to pay an even higher rent on a better place. If you own your house, what? You look at that crummy kitchen, you can renovate it and make it nicer and make it your own style. And guess what? When you've renovated your kitchen or your bathroom or put in new flooring or done some really nice upgrades to your house, you have upgraded your house. You've added more value to that house. So that $700,000 house that I was talking about, with an upgraded kitchen and upgraded bathrooms and a few more things like that, it could be worth $800,000 or even more, $900,000. What if you put an addition on the back or a nice sunroom or something like that? There's plenty of ways to add more value to the house while you're making it your own. If you're owning a house, well, you've probably got a yard and you can do some gardening. What about putting in a nice garden with some vegetables or just flowers, whatnot? What if you want a pet? A lot of rental situations, they don't allow pets. If you own their own house, you can have a dog. You can have a cat. You can have hamsters and gerbils. You can have any pets you want if you own your own house. You know, and you kind of get back that thing here, you know, the power of making your own. Ultimately, you get to say this: my house, my rules. Would you love to say that? Reason number 6 is a sense of community. Now, this is not for everyone. I understand that. Some people like to be just sort of off on their own. Even when they buy houses, they'll buy a house in the middle of the woods somewhere. They don't want to be bothered by anybody. They don't want to have any neighbors. You know, they want to come home from work and just relax. I get that. But that said, for a lot of us, a lot of people want to be in a neighborhood where we've got neighbors that we can meet and get to know. Now, I'll be honest with you, I live in a great neighborhood where I know my neighbors, and they watch my house for me when I'm gone, and they've got dogs, and we've got dogs, and the dogs play with each other. Oh, kids, and the kids play together. We go out and walk the dog, we meet people, we see people on the street. There's a sense of community in the neighborhood. And by the way, that sense of community can actually spreads out to a further sense of community to the town that I live in, where my neighborhood is. I'm deeply concerned about what happens with that town. I want to make sure that town prospers and the people living in the town are doing well. There's a sense of community, sense of pride of ownership within the neighborhood and within the town. Reason number 7, there probably is some tax benefits for owning a home. Now, I'm not a tax professional, so don't take this as gospel. Definitely talk to a real tax consultant about this. But it's probable that you can deduct your mortgage interest rates from your expenses. So remember what we were talking about in reason number 1, 2, and 3 about how you get this magic money and you're earning more money and you're getting, you know, as you go along, it's just money that comes from nowhere. At the same time, you also have the ability to protect some of your income that's coming in, so less of your money is actually going to taxes, so you have more money to spend on all sorts of other things. So there could be some tax benefits for owning a home. I like to call this reason number 7A because it's kind of a little bit of more of a financial thing, and that is the potential for rental income. Let's say what happens after you pay that house off and you've got no mortgage, or even before then you decide to buy another house and keep your old house and rent it out. In the right situation, wow, now you've all of a sudden you've got rental income, passive income. That's a pretty big deal. Now, being a landlord is not for everyone. Of course, I recognize that. But if you're interested in that, yeah, that's a big deal. That's another way to build wealth here in America, is to be a property owner. You're basically turning that landlord thing on its head. Potential for rental income. What's wrong with that? Okay, folks, you've been sticking around in this video long enough, and it's time for you to hear that metric about how to judge whether renting or buying is financially sound move. This number, this magic formula, comes from Fidelity Investments. So you know it's got to be good, right? Fidelity Investments. Okay, here's the magic formula, or rather the magic number. I'm talking a lot about magic here in this video. I don't know why. Lots of magic going around. Anyway, the magic number is 20. And here's how it goes. You take your monthly rent, your monthly rental, whatever you're paying for monthly rent, multiply that times 12 to give you the annual rent, and then multiply that number times 20. And that should give you the number, the price point of the house at which you should be buying a house if you're renting. Here's an example. Let's say your rent is $1,200 a month. Multiply that times 12 to get an annual rent. The annual rent is $14,400. By the way, that sounds like a big number when you put it like that. You realize you're spending $14,400 every year in rent? Sounds different that way, doesn't it? Take that number, 14,400, and multiply that number times 20. You come up with $288,000. What that means is if your rent is $1,200 a month, and you see a house that's asking $288,000, you should buy that house. It is financially beneficial for you to buy that house, according to Fidelity Investments. Any house that's less than $288,000, like $250,000, you should definitely buy that house, or a townhouse, or a condo. If a condo's $200,000, you should buy that house. What if it's $300,000, slightly above? Well, it's kind of crossing the line, but maybe not that much. Maybe you should still buy that house. $350,000, that's stretching it quite a bit. You might not want to buy a house at $350,000. But $288,000, definitely buy that house. Now, that's actually pretty low these days. What if your rent is $1,600 a month? Well, using that formula, times 12 times 20, that magic number 20, according to our magic formula, times 12 times 20 you should buy a house at $384,000 or anything less than that. $350,000, definitely buy that house. $300,000, buy that house for all means. What if your rent is $2,000 a month? That translates to $480,000. $480,000 is about the median price of houses here in the Triangle area at this time. And $2,000 a month is fairly common. What if you're paying $2,500 a month? That translates to $600,000, folks. If you're paying $2,500 a month or anywhere around that, you should be definitely buying a house at $600,000 or below. $500,000 to $600,000 for sure, be buying a house. It's just the magic formula by Fidelity Investments, folks. Your monthly rent times 12 times 20. Buy that house. There's a few things for you to think about. My name's Armand. I love talking about this kind of stuff. So if you have any questions about it, by all means, give me a call, shoot me an email, shoot me a text message, book a meeting with me. Happy to talk about any of this stuff, folks. I love talking about this stuff. This is why I'm making these videos. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you like this video, pass it on to someone else. Maybe they could benefit from this information. I hope so. I truly hope so. In any case, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you next time. See you later.